What is up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the boundlessly boisterous Dr. Disaster, and it is amusing how often the corporate ass-kissers out there who cheer on every game made by a AAA studio, it is amusing how often they lean on calling anyone who disagrees with them a grifter. Hell, it's not even just YouTubers like myself who get called that name. Even regular people on social media get labeled that.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Now, for anyone who isn't familiar with what the term grifter is actually supposed to mean, I'll forgive you because just like the words racist, sexist, and fascist, the term grifter gets thrown around so automatically these days by these shitlibs out there that it has lost most of its meaning. But the colloquial use of it, at least as it pertains to online discussions, is supposed to refer to someone who disingenuously says things that they don't believe in order to make money. So, the people who call everyone that they disagree with a grifter, those people are generally admitting that they have so much unearned confidence in their own views that they simply can't understand other people's perspectives.
I am a god, you dull creature!
You got it, dude!
Anyhow, the people who call you grifter for daring to call out their big corporate masters, these people shamelessly kiss corporate ass in the hopes of getting free review codes and sponsorship deals and that sort of thing. They want access, which is the sort of thing that we have going on here with Ghost of Yotei. Mighty Keith is one of those defenders of these big AAA studios who would certainly have no problem calling people like you and I grifters and chuds and that sort of thing, and yet here is an image from one of this guy's recent videos talking about Ghost of Yotei, and he admits in his hashtag here that actually this video is a paid advertisement, and at the bottom there you can see that the dude even has a link for someone to click on in order to buy the frickin' game.
And then you wonder why no one takes you seriously. Sweetie.
So, just to get this straight, someone like this Mighty Keith can put out a literal paid advertisement for a game, and the corporate butt kissers won't have a problem with it. That is not grifting. Meanwhile, someone like me can say that I don't want to buy the game for various reasons, and suddenly that is grifting. Well, I'm sick of the bullshit. These people need to own up to their own nonsense. I don't care if you get paid to say that something is good, that's on you, but own it. And on the subject of shilling for these corporate shitheads, I have a follow-up to the story that we talked about yesterday, this Matt Piscatella clown from Circana claiming that Ghost of Yotei is a wild success. We have evidence that he has made these same claims with the likes of Dragon Age the Veilguard and Star Wars Outlaws. I think we all know who the real grifters are.
It was me!
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've had a lot of people tell me that they have been unwillingly unsubscribed to the channel, so make sure you check on that, and also, give me a follow over on X where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. And if you feel like supporting the channel and helping keep the lights on, consider becoming a member for as little as $5 per month. But let's take a look at the Ghost of Yotei shilling that has been going on the past few days. I like how Endymion over on X put things with regards to this Mighty Keith situation where the dude literally admits that his video was a paid advertisement. Endymion said, "The people calling you chuds and grifters are also being paid by corpos to shill their game that totally did super well, guys. Please believe us. I have no problem with getting codes for games. You don't get paid for that, or you shouldn't anyway, nor do I have a problem with people doing sponsored videos if you say you have an ad, but when you make a whole video about Ghost of Yotei that is both sponsored and explicitly labeled ad in 4K while you white knight to protect the game online, it makes you look hella disingenuous. Mighty shill, I actually can't believe you agreed to do this knowing how it would make you look like. You should have just accepted the code at best and stopped there, but too late now, Godspeed. And then Endymion added here, by the way, I know how this works because I do YouTube stuff too. He likely got paid a few grand at least to do this too. So never forget, these are the people calling you chuds and grifters while being actual real grifters themselves. I'm amazed he actually uploaded this. And yeah, I've got to chime in here and say that I wish that the chud opinion was where the money is. It would make my life a hell of a lot easier. It would be great if gaming companies put out stuff that I enjoy all the time, and if we got along so well that they offered me codes for the game and offered me money to do what I enjoy doing anyway, which is make videos talking about video games and movies and that sort of shit. It would be amazing if game journalists weren't constantly referring to people like me as a scourge on the industry, and if I didn't have to constantly remind people to check if they are still subscribed, because YouTube seems to play games with accounts like mine. But that's life, I guess. My opinions may not always be correct, but they are my opinions, and the promise of more money isn't going to change that. Anyhow, we've been talking about the Sony and Sucker Punch shills trying desperately to spin the story that Ghost of Yotei is a major success. They have been running with this line here, where Matt Piscatella of Circana said, with 1 week in market, the US sales performance of Ghost of Yotei was basically flat to that of Ghost of Tsushima. It did great. Now, you'll notice that the word basically in his post is doing a shitload of heavy lifting here. Because of that word, that means that the actual sales numbers for Yotei could be basically anything. With that said, this same guy has a history of hyping up big AAA games like this in order simply to counter what the chuds are saying. Smash JT posted this on X. He wrote, "This Matt Piscatella fella peddling the Ghost of Yotei is great line was the very same dude that was pushing the Star Wars Outlaws success line. The very same dude that peddled the Assassin's Creed Shadows has been the best-selling video game line. Oh, and let's not forget the very same dude pushing that classic line where Dragon Age the Veilguard's PC volume included, it would have placed higher on the best-selling titles chart, perhaps as high as third overall, and he called the launch good. So, you pathetic turd shills can go right ahead and miss me with your shiitake mushroom takes. This dude's rep is garbage. You only utilize him and his fraud outlet to push your false narrative. It's all disingenuous bullshit lies. Always has been. The internet never forgets." And then, down below, he posted images of what this guy and the people who use his data have said in the past. This article headline is from last year, shortly after the release of Star Wars Outlaws, which was a certified flop to the point that, as we covered yesterday, its developers are suffering massive layoffs. But anyhow, this headline says, despite lukewarm reception, Star Wars Outlaws is the third best-selling game of August 2024 in the US per Circana report. In other words, like I said yesterday, you can take this data that Circana puts out, strip it of context, and make just about any new game sound impressive. Anyhow, here is the same dude, Matt Piscatella of Circana, saying that actually, if you included the digital sales of the Veilguard from last year, it would have likely placed as high as third overall in the time period that they were looking at. Once again, that game is a known flop, but the dude tried his best to shill for it, to protect it, in order to save BioWare's rep. And here is this same guy posting directly about Assassin's Creed Shadows earlier this year. Note the level of thinly veiled vitriol in his words, clearly aimed at the chuds who dare to question his corporate masters. He wrote, "Here's a fun one. Assassin's Creed Shadows has been the best-selling video game in the US for each of its first 3 weeks in the market, according to the latest data. Currently ranks number 2 year-to-date, trailing Monster Hunter Wilds." And there, below that, is a game journalist snarkily responding to him underneath saying, "But Matt, I heard it was woke." Yeah, when they post information like this, showing that Ghost of Yotei was the 4th bestseller in September, and then they make claims like this, never forget that their track record is pretty damned bad with games like this. These people are bound and determined to marginalize anyone who goes against the corporate narrative, and they are very determined to push the pro-corporate narrative. There is a reason that these companies share their sales info with analytics companies like Circana in the first place. They know that people like Matt Piscatella will spin things in their favor in order to continue to get access to that data. There is a reason that these corporations give out review codes and access to someone like Mighty Keith. These people, these shills, will protect AAA studios at all costs because that is where the money is. These people are shills, and dare I say it, maybe even grifters. But I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your contempt for this sort of shilling and grifting into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.